I mean, this is gradually becoming essentially a music show, occasionally interrupted by politics. But really, really excited to be joined by the lead singer of Bastille, Dan Smith. Morning, Dan.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm very good. I'm very good. Nice to have you on the show, but not actually to talk about your music. But to,
Thank goodness.
although we can do it in a set. We can do it in a set. But to talk about First Give, which is a social enterprise. Explain for listeners what First Give is, what it does.
Well, yeah, like I said, it's a social enterprise that is doing its best to roll out around as many schools as possible in the UK. And basically, it's a programme where kids are divided up, say a class is divided up into groups of like 5 or 6, and they have to go out and research a local charity or a national charity, and then basically advocate for them within the school, do as much fundraising as possible that goes into a kind of collective fund. And then at the end of the year, each group has to put together a presentation for the school of people that work at the charities and for a series of judges, and basically try and win everybody over to support that charity. And the panel of judges pick which group and which charity wins, and then the money that everyone has raised that year all goes to that charity. So I guess it's just the idea of First Give. It operates at a load of schools across the UK at the moment, but they're sort of looking to roll it out as wide as possible. And I sort of came into contact with the charity a couple of years ago and just thought it's just such a great idea in terms of getting kids to kind of engage a bit more in their community, in charity, find out about it, a bit of competitism, sort of getting them to work with, other kids they might not have usually sort of worked with or interacted with, and then I guess forcing them to do a presentation. And nobody likes public speaking; it's horrendous. It says I to you, who does it all the time. But yeah, I don't know. I just thought it was great, and it's the kind of thing I would have loved to have had around when I was at school.
And I suppose it's the sort of thing that whether it's in the environment or Black Lives Matter or bullying or whatever, the sort of young children who become sort of concerned about issues but don't possibly always know how to sort of go about doing something about it. And I suppose this is quite a sort of practical way of thinking, well, this is how you take your interest or concern about something and do something practical. I
think so. I mean, who am I to talk to any of this stuff apart from my own experience? And I think, we all, in whatever community we live in, it's it can be easy to sort of just, be so busy with your life that you maybe not that aware of what other people are having to go through and ways in which you can support. And I think just having it be part of school life, the idea that you are encouraged to, maybe because you want to, maybe because you have to engage with and at least hear about all these different kind of organisations that are doing amazing work. I think it's such a good idea. I mean, it's currently in 170 schools around the country, and I think obviously the idea is, hopefully, in people hearing this, that teachers or people who work at schools or whatever, it's kind of up to them to sign up to the programme. It's I think a pretty easy thing to sign up to once it's there. A lot of the work is done. It's the thing you kind of just plug into. But I think I don't know. Obviously, it just seemed like an organisation from my perspective. It seemed like it does amazing work, and I think yeah.
And if people are listening to it, I suspect most teachers will be in schools, but parents might be listening to this, want to get their children to sign up and do it. How can they find out information about it?
So it's firstgive.co.uk is the website. And I guess yeah, if you're a parent with kids at a school and you think that and the school doesn't run the program already, just encourage any teacher just to get in touch with the school kind of administration. And yeah, it's so easy. I think the organisation obviously are super keen to roll it out as wide as possible. And yeah, so I guess just start the conversation within the school, and it's super, super simple to sign up to. So yeah.
Excellent. Everyone go off and do that. As we've got you, I need to ask you about where you are in your in terms of live music. Like everyone else, got your fingers crossed that this vaccine means a potential return to live music. When do you think you might tour again?
Good question. We have some stuff booked for next summer. We actually had planned to sort of take the year away from touring for the first time since we started as a band. So yeah, we don't have a huge amount on, but I guess it's been really, really, really tough for the live industry. All of our friends who are crew members or touring crew members, not to mention musicians and whoever. It's just affected everyone hideously, and it's been pretty unsupported, to be honest. So it's been very, very tough. And I guess we're hoping that that life can return to something like normal next year. Everyone that I know who works in live music has been, has kind of pivoted to Amazon delivery drivers or supermarket delivery drivers, or any way they can get work, because there's been zero financial support for this industry whatsoever, which has been really tough. So yeah, we're hoping, like everybody else, hopefully on the other side of the vaccine, if it's safe, in the spring and summer, if things can return to normal. But I guess a lot of kind of research and testing needs to go into that from the kind of live music side as well. So we'll see. But I as a fan, I've missed gigs so much. Obviously it's part of my job, but mainly, just that collective energy of everyone getting into the same space, be it a festival or in a venue or whatever. It's been such a, obviously it's been an incredibly hard year for a lot of people, but culturally that kind of corner of life has been a real empty space. So I hope, I guess we've just got to try and remain optimistic about the vaccine and the effects that it has, and hope that, this and sport and theatre and so many things can kind of return to some level of normality, because particularly music and the live touring music industry, it's a huge part of the economy, and it's been horrendously overlooked this year. So I hope that it can return to something like that, because unfortunately this industry's had to kind of support itself. So it's very much like many industries, across the world and across the economy. It's kind of gagging to get back to some level of normality, so people can get back to doing the jobs that they've spent years of their lives kind of training to do.
Absolutely. Well, we wish you like you said, it's, we all thought that we liked going to gigs and festivals before, but now you really can't go to them. That's when you really appreciate it. Dan Smith there, the lead singer of Bastille, talks about the music industry, but also about that scheme First Give, to try and get children involved in raising money for charity and other social issues.